just wasting the whole day. You didn't do anything. You weren't productive. So I am forcing myself to not do anything, although some people might say that by filming this video I am doing something. So I don't know, like maybe I failed again. But that's why also the lighting is like this. I know that having lighting behind me looks terrible, but I just cannot be bothered to fix it. I didn't even put any form of color on my lips. And the reason that my stomach is making weird noises is because I bought some strawberry matcha powder from the supermarket, from the shops, and I just tried it for the first time. But it must have like milk powder in it or something, because that always makes my stomach make these noises, and I absolutely hate that. So lucky there's not that many packets in the box that I bought, but I didn't even make it nicely. It was not even enjoyable because it was my first time, so I had no idea like how much milk to put in. At least I actually steamed the milk on my Breville Bambino machine the best I could, so it wasn't that bad, but it mainly just tasted like milk, so that is not what I wanted. But that's okay, that's okay. I was just trying for the first time, so next time it will be better, and I probably won't even buy that next time. Matcha lattes are just such a hit and miss, like seriously. I've tried so many bad ones in cafes and stuff, and I went to a cafe on the weekend because I was waiting for my car to be looked at for a registration check, which it failed also. So it's just been it's been like, I don't know, just hard adulting days. I hate being an adult. I love being an adult and I hate being adult, so yeah, that's gonna be expensive, and I'm waiting for the quote for that. All the repairs that I'm going to have to get done to be able to pass the registration check for my car, which is due in 2 weeks. So hopefully everything can be fixed by then, but it's just annoying because now I have to take my car back to the mechanic place, which means I'm gonna have to do it on a weekday, and I purposefully booked it on a Saturday so that I didn't have to go on a weekday, because that's really annoying. If I go on a weekday, then I have to since I have to work, then I have to catch the train or Uber back home so I can work, and then catch the train or Uber back to the mechanic so I can pick my car up. But on the weekend I can just stay and wait, especially because this one is right next to a shopping center, like one of the huge ones. So anyway, all that to say, I went to a cafe while I was waiting for my car to be looked at, and I should have known from the start. I should have got out of there. Like when I sat down, okay, first they had QR codes on the table, which I absolutely love. If you have QR codes for ordering, you're already like in my top 50% of places. However, it kind of smelled like fish, and I do not know why. So I was like looking around, trying to see if they were like cooking fish or something. I don't know if they're located next to a fish shop or something. But it was like 8 a.m. and it smelled like fish, so that was a little bit off-putting. But I did not, I just think. And I just wanted to sit down and relax. So I ordered a coffee and I just chose a latte, even though they had cool things like taro latte, red velvet latte, and they had another cool one. I can't remember what it was. They also had like bulgogi sandwich, which I wanted to try, but then the smell of fish was just like, I don't know, I couldn't get it out of my head or my nose. So I ordered a latte and it was so bad. Like, I'm not a barista, but I got a Bambino, the Breville Bambino machine for my birthday. So I've been practicing, like I don't have a grinder or anything, so I just order like freshly ground beans from cafes online and use those, and I've been practicing steaming milk, which is really hard because I drink lactose-free milk and apparently it's just not